do not participate, and walk on. All right, that is being vegan. It's not participating in the violence.
Yeah.
Option 3, intervene, stop the violence.
Yeah.
All right, may activism be the moral baseline.
So Andy, my first memory of you is being at an animal rights protest in Town Hall, and you were dressed in a onesie and just screaming from a speakerphone, "There's no excuse for animal abuse."
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
It was a good first impression. I think it was a giraffe onesie, but I can't remember.
Okay.
So you're a well-known, outspoken activist in Sydney. Do you want to just tell us a bit about yourself?
Thank you for the compliment. I didn't realise I was very well known.
I'm sure that's the way people see you.
Yeah, I'm definitely outspoken. And so 4 years ago I was still paying for things like breast milk from a cow, putting a bolt gun through a calf's head, drinking rice bubbles with that breast milk on my cereal every day. I was killing all these animals. I was the meat guy, I was the dairy guy, I was the eggs guy, I was all that.
Yeah.
So when I found
like steak and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, so when I found out about what I was paying for, I was absolutely disgusted. I'd never seen animals be killed before.
Yeah.
And
what was the first thing a video did you watch, like Earthlings or what?
It was Gary Yourofsky.
Oh yeah.
His best speech ever, and that really got to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That day, I think I was literally calling myself vegan that day, but it just took me a few weeks to sort out the dairy and the eggs and all these products and to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Gary your favourite activist?
Gary's definitely my favourite activist. Equal with Joey Carbstrong, I'd say.
Yeah, me too. So when you first started doing activism, did you start with street protests or was it online stuff, like just Facebook status? Because when I first went vegan, I was just like, on Facebook.
Yeah.
My status is being, why are you still doing this?
I had no starting point. All I did when I first found out about this mass slaughter of animals was take in as much information I can and attend whatever events I could. So I would see protests pop up back in 2014, such as circus protests, ag-gag, like single issue campaigns like ban live export, and I'd just go to whatever I could and I wouldn't miss it. And if I was handed a megaphone to make some noise, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd do whatever I could.
Yeah.
So the cube of truth wasn't invented then. So what we would do is go out chalking. We would often chalk the city, or earthlings.com.
Still kind of do that now, hey?
Yeah, we often chalk now.
What is the best aspect of the vegan movement? Or what's the best thing about the vegan movement currently?
Oh, the best thing about the vegan movement currently is just the amount of vegans who are just getting active.
Yeah.
So we've seen in Sydney, I think there's nearly 1,500 people now in the Anonymous for the Voiceless Sydney group. That's just Sydney.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we're seeing a Pitt Street Mall Cube of Truth on a Saturday afternoon and 50, 60, 70 people show up.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Now it's allowed us to expand to the suburbs.
Yeah.
So we're at Parramatta last night, we were at Bondi Junction last week, and we've expanded to Wollongong and the Blue Mountains as well. And there's no stopping this freight train.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I like to think of it like phases of veganism. I think the first phase was getting people to turn vegan, and now I feel like the second phase is like getting vegans active, or like making that a part of being vegan.
Oh,
like, I don't know. I kind of think we should redefine the term to include activism into being vegan. Like,
I do too. How do you possibly find out about the killing of animals and remain silent about it? All right, it's the animals need us. This is up to us to help them out of their suffering.
Yeah.
Who else is going to do it? The rest of society are paying for their suffering. This is up to us. You know, you're walking through a park and you see someone kicking their dog. All right, we have three options. Option one, join in. This looks like fun. That's society. Okay, they're just joining in on the violence. Everyone else is doing it, they're doing it too. Let's follow the leader. Option two, all right, do not participate and walk on. All right, that is being vegan. It's not participating in the violence.
Yeah.
Option three, intervene, stop the violence.
Yeah.
All right, may activism be the moral baseline. That should be the moral baseline for us to help them out of their suffering. The very least we should do is be vegan.
Yeah.
And some amazing vegans in Brisbane, that vegan couple, they always end their videos with the very least we should do is
I
be
love
vegan,
that. Yeah.
which is the same message. They're giving the same message. Let's do activism.
Yeah.
All right, veganism, easy. We know it's easy. Food's amazing.
Yeah.
We don't have to miss anything.
Yeah.
Activism.
So some people say vegans are too outspoken in their beliefs and too in your face, and I think we kind of have this image of like, stop forcing your beliefs down my throat. Like, what would your response? I know what my response would be. What would your response be to that kind of criticism? Vegans and non-vegans.
Yeah. So if non-vegans are saying to us, stop forcing your beliefs down our throats, so I'll often say to them, well, who's the real victim here? We need to stop using knives to force our beliefs into the throats of animals.
Yeah.
They're the real victim here, not a non-vegan for feeling a little upset about the message we're getting across. We're just the messenger. Okay, we're just getting the truth out there of what's going on.
Yeah.
So they need to shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
If it comes from the vegan, you're too outspoken.
Yeah.
You're giving us a bad name. You're making the vegans look bad. These sort of things. To me, there's nothing more infuriating. Those vegans need to sit down and they need to watch Lucent, Earthlings, Land of Hope and Glory, Gary Yourofsky's speech, Dominion when it comes out, and they need to really think about the victims here, and they need to help them out of their suffering, the animals. All right, we're forgetting about the animals. It's just too easy to forget about them for some people. So to say to vegans, you're giving us a bad name, you're making us look bad, is completely wrong. I believe that any advertising is good advertising. So if a vegan goes into a supermarket with a megaphone and says it's not food, it's violence, all right, these are bodies on the shelves. Please, recognise them as animals. That's not meat. That's an animal. We're pleading with people to use their hearts and brains and go vegan. We're pleading, not preaching. This is pleading. We're literally begging them to go vegan. We don't need vegans to say to activists, you're giving us a bad name, you're making us look bad. We need the vegans to join in. We need the vegans to turn up to the cube.
Show us how it's done.
Show us how it's done. Give us an alternative. All right. Any advertising is good advertising. It's different strokes. Different strokes for different folks. People could hold a television at the Cube of Truth and not have to outreach if they're not confident or they've got some anxiety. They don't even have to look at the screens of the animals suffering. They stand there for an hour with a mask on and just stand there. Or they could outreach, or they could chalk messages on pavement, or they could put a poster on a pole, or they could just put a sticker on the back of their car.
I love people that say like showing slaughterhouse footage is offensive. I've gotten those comments on my videos before, like, this is offensive showing this. They're like, dude, you paid for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we're thinking about our feelings again. If we can't watch it, if we feel uncomfortable with watching it or as a vegan showing it, what is the animal going through? They've got to feel this.
Do you think there's a such thing as bad activism?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any bad activism ever. Every form of activism I've seen has been amazing. There's a save movement going on around the world where people peacefully just say goodbye to the animals for 2 minutes and get footage of the animals in their final moments, bearing witness. This is incredible.
To do bear witness, because I think the real change is going to happen like through that kind of activism, and on like putting it online, but like having masses of people, because that'll put pressure on companies, I think, once they start seeing like support for the industry's ending. And I think I was saying to you before, I think the only bad activism is no activism.
Oh, bad activism, no activism, awesome. I love it. I love it, Pat.
I kind of maybe think there's different levels of effectiveness for activism, but even then it's like, it's quite, because the activists that are really successful today, they're all quite different, so there's no right way to do it.
I just think when we pay for 41 years I paid for animals to be tortured to death in a shed, and I pulled out hundreds of fish from the ocean. I didn't directly fish, but I paid people to pull out fish from the ocean, put fish through immense pain and suffering. All these animals, who would I be to suddenly stop paying for it and forget about everything I contributed to. Yeah, I paid for animals to just suffer.
Yeah.
Now, this is a debt that I owe them, and that'll go on forever now.
Yeah.
All right, it doesn't just stop after a little while. That's just forever payback.
Yeah.
I owe the animals that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the least I should do.
I think that kind of like realization as well helps you become a better activist, because you were like, oh, I was there once, and like if you can relate, like it makes you better, especially with like outreach and face-to-face kind of activism.
Yeah.
It's really helpful, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, at outreach, I always say to people, I was in your shoes not long ago.
Yeah.
We're in exactly the same position,
Yeah, and they're kind
and
of like
here's the help.
a little bit after that, because like,
Yeah.
I wasn't born this purified saint being a kind
Yeah, I
of
often say to people, I was the bacon guy. You know, I was having bacon in the morning. I was paying for the pigs in that gas chamber.
Yeah.
And yeah, the wall stays down then. And just let them know they've been lied to their whole lives. You know, they just did what they were told. Everyone just did what they were told, which was eat animal products.
Yeah.
All right, are these industries interested in our health or our money? They're clearly interested in our money. It's a business they're running.
Yeah.
And society has been duped. They've been scammed. And this is unacceptable. They've been scammed out of their money, scammed out of their health. All right, this is literally killing people. This is heart disease and cancer, the two leading causes of death now. And they've got good people everywhere who are under the illusion they love animals, but they're sending animals to be tortured in a shed. This is nuts.
Okay, so just randomly, do you believe in God? Like, do you have a religion? Do you have a spiritual side?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, I don't believe in God.
I'm
I'm
up atheist?
straight up, well, atheist / agnostic. I don't give it too much thought.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
really gonna change anything, is it?
No, I just haven't got time to devote to believing in a God.
Yeah.
Just animals deserve most of my time. And then there's some work on the side to fund the activism.
Yeah.
If there's a God, well, we're surely not treating God's creatures properly. No God would want his creations to be slaughtered to death. Yeah, I met a fella in Parramatta yesterday. He was Islamic, and we talked about Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
And I just asked him, would Prophet Muhammad be disappointed in you if you didn't kill an animal today? And he said, no, that'd be fine. I wouldn't be upset at all. I said, what about this week? Would Prophet Muhammad be upset if you didn't kill an animal this week?
Yeah.
And he said, no, it wouldn't be a problem. What about all year? It wouldn't be a problem? Okay. Well, we've quickly established that your religion and any religion doesn't mandate killing animals. All right, there's nothing that says you must kill animals. You can live vegan under any religion. This is fantastic. Here's your flyer, here's your help. And he was quickly on board. Yeah. We didn't get into, all the, what did Prophet Muhammad say? We didn't have to go there.
Yeah, it's just like you don't have to, so why do you?
Yeah, exactly. It's completely unnecessary.
Okay, so just switching it up a bit, like this is like a completely different topic, but I want to talk a bit about vegan dating. So what's your like guideline for that? 'Cause obviously you have a vegan girlfriend.
I have a vegan girlfriend.
Yeah, it's great. She's awesome.
Izzy V.
Izzy.
Hi, Izzy V.
I love her.
I think vegans, my stance is vegans should be willing to date anyone. But I'd almost say if that person you're dating isn't willing to find out about what the animals are going through within the first few dates, I'm talking a date with a Urofsky Earthlings double header. If they're not willing to look at it, then I don't think it's going to work. So
I kind of like hang out with them, like do stuff, but like I wouldn't be intimate.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like you got to respect animals before.
Absolutely.
Anything, so it's like,
yeah. Imagine if that person you're dating was putting a human leg on a barbecue.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just tucking into some human shoulder.
Yeah.
What is the difference between tucking into a human shoulder and a pig's shoulder?
Yeah. I think it was Gary. I can't remember the exact quote, but he says like, always put like, when you're asking like an ethical question, always ask whether you would think it's right if it was a human, and if it's not, then what's you know what to do kind of thing.
Exactly.
So if you wouldn't date someone that would put a human leg like on a barbie, like why are you doing it with someone who does it to animals?
Yeah, exactly. So I would give them a chance because we've all been in their shoes. I would give them a chance and just see how it went for the first few weeks. But I would be pretty quick to expect them to go vegan. I wouldn't be hanging around for 2 or 3 years waiting for them. I know some vegans do, but I couldn't do it personally. That's just me.
I know, I've heard stories like my husband became vegan after 5 years, so you can't judge. I'm like, you can make him vegan today. Like,
exactly.
You don't have to wait 5 years, you know?
Exactly. Good point. So the other thing is, can an activist date a non-vegan activist?
No, like I've kind of done that. It's just like, no, it doesn't work.
Tell us.
It's not like they're critical, but they just don't care. So it's like you're putting your heart and soul into this movement that is like objectively, in my opinion, can't say it in my opinion, objectively like the most important thing on earth because it helps animals, the planet and health. And they're just not giving two shits about it. It's like, oh cool, we're gonna have a great life. You know? So it's not terrible, but it's just like, no.
So I think an activist really needs to be with an activist in the long run.
Definitely.
And the date needs to be, well, we're having a date at the Cube of Truth and the dinner that follows afterwards. That's the date. And this is great because both parties are going, yay!
Or like busting into a factory farm
I'm
together.
Come on! Busting into a factory farm together. What an awesome date. This is the best.
Grabbing some water to the fry.
Standing in front of a truck with a stop, please stop for 2 minutes. This is amazing. Wonderful date. Doesn't get any better than that. Absolutely so romantic. I love it.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
That's okay. Thank you.
And get some stuff
and you're one of my favourite activists too. When I first went vegan, I was watching Vegan Asylum. I was loving your channel.
We'll see. Still kind of finding myself as an activist, I think, definitely.
We're always evolving, always changing, but let's always keep the animals in mind because they're the real victims here. We have to do our best and find whatever strength we can to work with our strengths and to help them out of their suffering. This is up to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
We show off.